So in this video, I'm going to be talking about the pillar number 2 of business ethics. And this pillar is called honesty. And it's simply just that you gotta be honest. There is an honest way to make money in every single situation. Even in situations where you feel like you have to be dishonest, you can frame your argument in a way that you can speak the truth and still make the money. So it just takes a little bit perspective to look at the situation and see, why do I want to lie? Most of the time we don't want to speak the truth because the truth may be ugly and you don't know how to present the truth in a way that it's a little more digestible by the person in front of you. So sometimes it can just be a communication gap where you don't know how to communicate your points, and you just, in order to cope with it, you just cover it up with a lie that just sounds very good, and that thing that you really wanted to say doesn't get expressed and it's still in you, and you're trying to hide something, and people always know when you're lying to them. So and the other thing is, it just breaks the trust. I remember one time, I had a shareholder and he lied to me about one thing. And it was something major, okay? But he lied to me about that one thing. I was on a call with him and he said that, Prithvi, I gotta go back to my home country because my mother is sick. And I said, okay. And then he went to his home country. And then he said, Prithvi, I cannot talk to you right now because my mother just passed away. And I said, I'm really sorry about that, And he said that. I felt bad for him. I sent my condolences. And a few months later, he told me that, Prithvi, my mother used to tell me that, and he said what his mother used to say. And then he said, she was a beautiful lady, she passed away 4 years ago. And she used to tell me this. So I didn't interrupt him. And he just said that his mother actually passed 4 years ago. And a few months ago, he said he's going because his mother is not sick, and then his mother passed away. And he did this a few times with me. And he was a very reputable guy. He was, had a great career and great success and everything. But just this one thing he lied about. Look, maybe he wanted to visit his family. Maybe he felt guilty of telling me that maybe he's going for a holiday. Maybe he didn't want to say, or he didn't want to seem that he's the kind of person who takes holidays. In the corporate world, if you take too many holidays, that's not a good optics. People don't look at you favorably. So I think he picked up that habit to hide the fact that he's going on a holiday. And if I speak to, someone else in my company who is very, very senior position, very reputable guy, he is the CEO of $3.5 billion company. Whenever he's going on a holiday, he says, I'm going on a holiday. So when he says that I'm busy, then his word has credibility, because when he was on a holiday, he was very transparent on a holiday. He says, listen, in front of me, there is a beautiful ocean and I really didn't want to be on the call, but here I am because you need me. You're ruining my vacation, Prithvi. And he would always be honest about how he felt. And he knows this. I know that he knows this. But it really creates this sense of trust and credibility. And he said to me one time that, Prithvi, my name in the country is like a gold coin. Somebody tried to spit on my name, nothing will happen, because my name is like a gold coin. And he is extremely honest, and he can say things which are ugly truth. Truth can be very ugly. but it has to be communicated. And something releases from your body when you speak the truth. Your heart becomes empty. You feel good about yourself. You sleep better. I remember when I was around 17 years old, from 13 to 16, I was in a very oppressive and violent environment. And I learned this very bad habit of lying, because if you didn't lie, you would get beaten up. So my environment punished me actually for speaking the truth. And the teachers would say, it's okay, tell the truth and we will spare you. But if you tell the truth, they start beating you up and punish you and put you through all kinds of situations. So I learned this bad habit that I didn't have before, and my lies were accumulating and accumulating. So I did this one course where they talk about this importance of speaking the truth. And I went to my mother and I told her everything about my life. I just came clean with her. I stayed away from her in a boarding school for 4-5 years. I picked up a lot of bad habits, pornography. I don't think it's a bad habit anymore, but at that time, like pornography, I was watching, I was smoking, I was drinking, I had girlfriends, and she didn't know about any of this stuff. I used to abuse, I still abuse. I don't think it's a bad thing, but I'm just saying that for a child, these things can be considered bad or ugly, So I was hiding all of this from her, and I didn't want to cause her pain. But I sat down and I took the courage and I said, you know what, Mom, I'm not that decent or I'm not that innocent kid anymore. I have had girlfriends. I have done things which are physical intimacy with women. I have had my age, and women who were in my school, whatever, and I have smoked, I have had alcohol, and just went through the whole list. And suddenly I felt connected with her. Suddenly there was a trust. Suddenly when I told her that I'm going with my friends, she felt a little bit better, because she knows I'm always going to tell her the truth. And not only that, because I had told my mother about this, I told my friends that I told my mother about all of this, and they said that, oh, you've lost your mind, you never tell parents what you're doing. I said, no, I don't agree with that. I always I'm going to speak the truth from now on. And they made fun of me, whatever, but even they themselves, they always to this day trust my word. You are going to be trading on your word, and you better start speaking the truth. No matter how much it hurts the person in front of you, they will thank you. I have had women that I communicated with, I told them honestly about what happened. If I was involved with someone else or whatever, I just was honest. And they appreciated me so much. Most people will never admit, but you are just saying it. And the moment you said it, it was over. It didn't hurt. It was just so funny that I said something and it didn't hurt. It says, I'm glad, I'm so thankful that you said it. It would have been a terrible thing if I found it out on my own. But you just told me. And I said, yes, I just, that's just what happened, and this is what it is. I'm being honest with you. And there was suddenly trust and credibility. So your word starts to have power when you speak the truth. People believe you. Even if you don't have that kind of credibility with someone, even if you meet someone new, they will feel that power coming out of you, because you're speaking what's in your heart, and people feel it. Even the man that I'm talking about, who said that my name is like a gold coin, when I met him for the first time, something in the air, I just trusted him. When you can have that kind of trust with people, they want to do business with you. And people know that truth is very ugly sometimes, and it's very hard to speak. But you gotta say it. And the funny part is, the more ugly it is, the more nasty it is, the more trust, and the moment you say it, the more trust and credibility you will create. Sometimes you will just lose the person, and that's okay. That's the price you pay for maintaining your word, from having your word having power and having credibility. You may be hiding things from your spouse, from your mother, parents, children, business partners. Come clean. Sometimes they'll forgive you, sometimes they'll understand, sometimes you'll lose them. Sometimes you'll lose some customers. But even the customers that you may lose in the short term will come back because they trust you, because you were honest. So I'm not saying to compromise money. I didn't say that. Some people think that, oh, if I say speak the truth, I won't make any money. No, that's not the case. You'll make the money. In fact, you'll make more money if you speak the truth. It may happen that your whole structure is built on a lie and it collapses in the short term, but the new structure will have new partnerships, will have better people in your ecosystem, and you have trust in the relationship, and you will feel better. One last story about honesty. I was around 18 or 17 years old when I had really taken this practice to speaking the truth, and I had told my mother everything about myself. And some of my friends, I was still going to school, and some of my friends wanted to miss the school and instead go for the cinema. And there's nothing wrong with going to the cinema or missing the school. So I was very frank. I had already told so many nasty things about myself to her. I just told her, listen, Mom, I want to go, and I want to go to the cinema. I don't want to go to the school today. So she said, no problem, But I said, but my friends, they're not open with their parents, and they want to lie about it, and they want to have this little fun of, instead of going to the school, they want to go to the cinema. And she said, okay. And I said, I'm going to drink. She said, no problem, okay. Be careful, be responsible, but I'm not going to stop you. You have been honest with me. I said, okay. I wore my nice clothes and I went out. I wasn't afraid of anything. But my friends, they wore their school uniform. They got out. They had their nice clothes in the casual clothes in their bag. They had to change. They were always looking at around over their shoulder. They were scared. They were fearful, and they weren't really free. And I was fully free and grounded. There is something about truth which is very grounding. And the moment you start speaking the truth, you feel very grounded. You don't give a shit, because you're speaking the truth, and people feel that. And it's just something happened where my shoulders went back, and I became very relaxed, and I felt this very strange power that I didn't feel before. That I knew I was an honest person, and when you're honest, nobody has leverage over you. When you're lying and somebody else knows that you lied, that person knows your lie, that knows the truth and knows that you lied, and that person has leverage over you. So you lose power. Because if that person were to turn against you, they can use that, the truth that you're hiding, as leverage over you. So it's really a power strategy. We are not talking about, this morality or religion or anything like that. We are talking about power. In the context of business, we're talking business right here. Honesty will bring you trust and build relationships, and will create stability of revenue and stability of position and freedom, mental freedom, emotional freedom. You will sleep better. You don't have anything to hide from anybody. You will have to do a lot less work. Your lies are not building up. You are open and you communicate as it is. And people know other people. So if you lie, then this guy lied to me about his mother. Now I'm sharing this and thousands of people are going to watch this. Tens of thousands of people are going to watch this over time. And tens of thousands of people, this guy's reputation, I'm not going to tell you his name, but it's just gives a bad name. He's losing power. He lost power. I had to remove him from the board because of this. Lying. It's just so off-putting, for people. And you lose power. So if you want to have power, speak the truth. Doesn't matter if it's ugly. Speak it and see what happens. Some people are going to leave you. That's the price you pay. But there are some people who will trust you even more. And then you have the leverage, you have the power. Because people know most people don't actually speak the truth. So when you are the one who does, there is that trust. It's incredible. And they will tell you some of the nasty stuff that they have also. And then you can have a very close partnership, friendship, whatever you want to call it. There's more freedom there. And more importantly, you build self-esteem, you build power, and it's a great feeling. So I highly recommend it. Pillar number 2, be honest. I'll talk to you soon.